Here is our dog Max. He is a 4-year-old golden retriever, and we're going to be talking about his body and the way his system works. Now, every animal and every human being is made up of cells. A cell is what contains all of your organelles that help you stay alive and help you keep toxins out of your body. The first organelle we will talk about is the cell membrane. This is the outer part of the cell, and it protects it from the surroundings. It allows good and bad bacteria to exit and enter Max's body. Without this, Max would become very sick because toxins would enter his body. The cell membrane is in control of what goes in and out of the cell, so therefore it can be compared to the bodyguard of the cell. And every cell has each bodyguard. Next, we'll be talking about the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm makes up most of the cell, and it's made up of mostly salt and water. This cytoplasm is jelly-like, and it's the home of all organelles. It stores the most essential chemicals for life, and without this, the organelles would have nowhere to live inside of Max's body. Next, we have lysosomes. Lysosomes digest and take away all waste from Max's cells. Because they take away all waste from Max's cells, Max is able to stay healthy and clean. The lysosomes basically can be the trash can of the cell. Next, we have ribosomes. Although they sound a lot like lysosomes, they are very different. They produce the proteins in the cell. Now, proteins in the cell are very important because without the protein, Max would not have any energy to go about his day. The cell needs protein to repair any damages to the cell and to carry out any chemical reactions. Without ribosomes, the cells would fail. Next, we have the Golgi apparatus. This is like the mailman of the cell. And like we all know, dogs love mailmans. This packages and delivers out proteins to different areas of the cells. Without this organelle, the cell would not receive any proteins and would eventually fail. Without receiving proteins, the organelles would eventually die off because they would have no proteins to sustain life. Our next organelle is mitochondria. This produces energy through respiration. Respiration is when the mitochondria brings air into the cell so the cell can survive. All living things need air or oxygen to survive. The mitochondria breaks down nutrients from the cell and it turns the nutrients into energy so the cell can use it. Even dogs need oxygen just like humans to survive in their everyday life. Now we're going to talk about Max's endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum looks a lot like the Golgi apparatus. However, it has tiny bumps on it, which are called ribosomes, which we learned about earlier. The endoplasmic reticulum sends out proteins in tiny sacs to different parts of the cell. The little bumps are the producers of those proteins. Next, we're going to talk about the very most important parts of the cell, the nucleus and the nucleolus. The nucleus can be called the heart of the cell, and without this, Max would not be alive because the nucleus is what runs the entire cell. The nucleus holds all of the genes or characteristics for the cell, and the nucleus makes the cell individually different than every other cell in Max's body. The nucleus is what makes Max look the way he does. The nucleolus is the creator of the ribosomes that sends out to the ribosomes to every other cell and to the endoplasmic reticulum. Animals and people have billions and billions of cells. Here is Max with a picture of all of his billions of cells that make him up, and each cells have all the organelles that we went over. All of these organelles are what make up living things. Without organelles, there would be no cells, so therefore, there would be no Max.